Hello buddy, StarCraft here again for this time not Iron Squid 2 action, but actually some ladder on ladder action, baby. So this time it is a public game between you know him, you love him, everybody's favorite from Team EG as the red Zerg. It is Stephano. Spawn up here in the top left of Ohana and down in the bottom right. It is a fairly unknown player from America, I do believe, is top 50 Grandmaster on the NA server. It is going to be the Blue Terran, Mr. Neeb, down here in the bottom right. Now, I gotta say, I do apologize. I haven't been casting for the last few days. I don't have any fat excuse as well. I've just been really lazy, but now that I'm getting back into it, man, I have missed you guys. I have missed it. Casting is like a drug, you just cannot stop it. And actually, just before I started casting this game, I was watching Stephano completely own noobs in the SPL. For those of you guys who don't know about the SPL, it is the Pro League on in Korea. Stephano playing there, part of EGTL, which is Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid mixed together. And they just recently had a victory against Woojin Stars, who were none other than the top-ranked winning team there. So Stephano pulled it out for EGTL like a total boss, taking down their ace Protoss player who had something like an 11-3 win-loss ratio. And Stephano's like, yeah, what? That's no biggie. He's going to go for the 15 hatch here. Also took out Zero, a Zerg player who has arguably got some of the best TvZ in the game. And the casters there were like, oh, Stephano, you know, his TvZ has been so good, man. I don't know how he's going to do in this match. And boom, he just completely owns Zero. So you guys know Stephano. He just knows how to win. And that's why he is arguably the best foreign StarCraft 2 player in the world. Getting up that hatch straight after that. I mean, that spawning pool straight after that hatch, and Neeb as well, keeping it pretty damn standy-danded here. The thing about TvZ that I think a lot of Terran players have been having a hard time in is, you know, the most common build you kind of see is what looks like Neeb is going right now. You get down the barracks, you get down the CC, then you get the gas and the factory and the starport. And you get out Banshees usually and Hellions and put on some harassment with them, because Banshees aren't that easy for Zerg to deal with in the early game, and Hellions you want to try and get the run bys, try and get lots of drone kills, especially if the Zerg player is playing pretty heavy macro. The problem is a lot of Zerg players nowadays know how to deal with that. They know how to block Hellions, and if that harassment doesn't really do much kind of economic damage, then your Zerg player is going to be in a pretty good spot. And if it's Stephano, oh, I don't know how you come back from that, but we shall see. Stephano, he has had some pretty punishing timings with Roach Hydras on Ohana, especially in ZVT, so we'll see if he does something like that. Otherwise, we could just see more standard Roach play. Excusez-moi. But I'm kind of interested to see what we see here from Stephano. Still no gas, pumping out those queens. He usually gets gas at 6, follows it up by... Ooh, he was thinking about gas there, didn't do it though. Gas at 6. Oh, gonna get it a little bit earlier here at 5. So we'll see why he's getting his gas earlier, what he plans to use that on. In camp, Neeb getting up his orbital commands, getting out his factory. Double factory. Wow, we are. Are we going to be seeing some mech? I think we are, as the double gas is already up for Neeb as well. The thing about mech is it can be very good in PvZ, but it's pretty easy. Oh, I wouldn't say easy, but if a Zerg can get your army kind of out of position, because Zergs are pretty mobile when you think about it. There goes the third hatch for Stephano, 6 minutes. Then it's really hard to deal with the Zerg, especially if you don't win the first engagement, because mech is not easy to reproduce his units. And looks like Stephano is going to be getting out that Roach Warren for now. Tech Lab and Reactor, so double Hellion on the way, as well as I'm going to guess Siege tanks. Blue Flame is on the way as well. So it's kind of interesting to see mech. You see it a lot more in HOTS, as it's been buffed a fair amount, and is definitely something to watch out in Heartless Swarm, as it can be used, especially in TvZ, for great effect. But in Wings of Liberty, you know, you just don't see it very often because it doesn't have a very high success rate. A lot of it's going to come down to how effective these early Hellions are, so we shall see. Blue Flame is not done yet, but these bad boys need to do some damage right now. Stephano does not know it's completely mech yet, but he will soon if he scouts. Oh, that is Neeb's vision. What's he doing? He's going to keep harassing this third. If you have a look, Stephano has not scouted at all in the main of Neeb. See how Stephano reacts as he is sending a few roaches. Roaches very good against Hellions as they do not do additional damage, as roaches are not light. So that is definitely a thing. Where's this Overlord going? Just go to check out the beautiful lake on over there. These Hellions going to swing on out. Stephano going to be droning up after this. So continue to drone up. I think Speed going to be finishing up. But Neeb's going to keep trying to do some damage with these Hellions. The thing that the Hellions do usually do is they give a lot of map control to a Terran, and Zerg are usually used to having the map control, especially in PvZ. So these roaches, Hellions are going to get a run by though, and are going to get into the natural of Stephano, killing about 4 drones there. Going to swing on into the main, needs to keep moving around with them. More drone kills going on. Ling's going to get killed as well. Blue Flame was done a while ago. So this Hellion harass has been very successful. Stephano not reacting very well with his drones, does split them up a little bit there. But I gotta say, that was a bit of a mistake from Stephano. I usually see players put in the queens up here on this choke so the Hellions cannot get that run by into the main. But Neeb gonna keep on pumping out Hellions here, as he's up to 17 workers killed. So surprisingly doing a lot of damage in what you who you would have thought would have been the massive favorite, Stephano, in this game. So we'll see if Stephano can come back. Looks like he is going to be going for a counterattack, but that means he is going to be leaving this third relatively undefended, as his army's all out in the center of the map at the moment. More drone kills for Neeb. Non-stop harassment here, just lining those drones up. Stephano with really bad reaction here, isn't even running those drones out of the base. This is not like Stephano at all. Finally, those Hellions are going to clean up, but at a cost of about another 10 drones, up to 26 workers killed. So Neeb has definitely done the damage necessary, and that's what I was talking about. As a Terran in TvZ, you got to do that early damage, otherwise you're going to be hurting once that macro machine that is Zerg kicks on in. I mean, Stephano, he's still ahead in supply, but he's lost a lot of drones. And right now, Neeb is up to 5 factories, the 5th one on the way. These Hellions are going to run into a wall of roaches. I like Stephano placing his roaches out the front here so the Hellions can't just run on by for now. You can see how little damage Hellions do against anything that isn't light. Stephano at the same time is going to be getting up his infestation pit, getting on the rest of his gases. Neeb's going to do a bit of a scan. See no tech though, as the infestation pit is going down in Stephano's natural. But we'll see how this works out. I mean, what's really good against mech is mutilings. So I guess Neeb is kind of making a kind of cool choice here, as Stephano not really known for his muta play, known to love his roaches, and mech is actually pretty good against roaches. Problem with mech is once they get up to broodlords, you are going to be in big trouble. So Neeb's going to be looking to pull this game out before the hive tech kicks on in. These roaches are going to get cleaned up, not even getting any healing kills, although this creep is going to be delaying this third for some time here. These roaches going to continue pressuring, and you can see how bad Hellions are against roaches. These tanks need to get on in position. Siege mode was down a while ago. Don't know why Neeb is not sieging up right now, as a lot of these Hellions are getting taken out, but Stephano is going to have to back on all that. His creep spread's got to say is looking pretty decent. Army supply in his favor as well. Check it out, APM. Actually pretty low for Stephano. I wonder what the average... Ooh, let's have a look here. Oh yeah. Stephano, actually very low APM for general. Stephano, he's usually averaging about 300. So, don't know what's up with that. Maybe just because it's a public game, he's not playing as intense as he would in a competition. I don't know. He's going to clean up those rocks so he can reinforce that third if he needs to. Pathogen glands on the way as well. Probably going to wait for that to be done before he starts popping out his infestors. That's what most players do, as it's pretty smart play. And Ventral Sacs. So, some drop play, possibly. I always love drop play. I don't think Zergs use it enough. These Hellions are going to scout this 4th here. Not really do any damage as there weren't really any drones. They did a few lings. But these Overlords, man, I think Overlord speed is done. And they might be dropping on in sometime soon. Stephano 2-1 upgrades. And because Neeb's going mech, he's only at 1-1. That's the thing with mech. Kind of harder to get those upgrades. You need them individually for the air and the ground units. But it looks like he's just predominantly going with ground units right now. No Vikings yet. Or Banshees. This one Hellion has seriously got his work cut out for him, man. And here comes the Hero Ling. Oh, yeah, 3-shotting that Hellion. He's gonna feel like a complete boss, that Ling. It's like, hey guys, you know, I just killed a Hellion all by myself. Suck on that. Even though he does additional damage to me. Getting off track though right now, as Stephano is kind of coming back from that original economic damage. Popping out his infestors. He's got a lot of roaches. But Neeb, we got to hand it to him. He's working on that 2 attack, sorry. 2 armor. Getting additional command centers. Has got a nice little defensive line going on here. So for now, both players just kind of sitting back, waiting to max on out. How much energy is on these festers? Not too much, and only about 5 festers. So definitely something able for Neeb to deal with, but there is a lot of roaches, so most of Stephano's supply is tied up in that, as roaches are really heavy on the supply there. But siege tanks pretty damn good against roaches, unless they get right up in your face, which is what they do if they're going to be dropping on in here. So this could actually be a very smart move from Stephano, who does have Hive on the way. At the same time, Hellion drops going on 2 at a time in the in the main and the 3rd here of Neeb. It does get cleaned up. There are quite a few more workers killed. They're up to 62. Oh my gosh. Neeb done a very good job with the harassment here, but Stephano, that's just going to free up more supply for more roaches, but he's going to be drawn up behind this. He's going to try and clean up some creep here, gain some more map control. Why haven't we seen any drop play yet, man? I was really looking forward to that. I really hope Stephano does. At the same time, Neeb might be moving on out here. Looks like he is. Only about 3 Thors, so that Hive Tech's going to be finishing up. If Stephano gets out Broodlords, Neeb's going to be absolutely screwed. But here we go. He does have these Overlords with roaches inside of them. Is going to go drop them. The Thor's going to try and clean out, manage to take out the Overlord with no units in it. These roaches going to be getting a very nice concave here. Roach is going to be dropping right on top of these siege tanks. So Stephano with a really nice engagement here, although Neeb just has enough mech right now to deal with this, man. So Stephano needs to bail on out of here with these Overlords. So Neeb actually, despite that drop, doing a pretty sick micro there. Is going to be doing quite... I don't know why Stephano is kind of throwing out these infested terrors, essentially wasting them for 1 siege tank kill. I guess he just wants to delay the push. Is going to kill his infestors there as well. Oh, that was very strange. I don't know why he would want to do that. Roach is going to be coming in as well. That was really weird with the infestors there, man. Right now, though, it looks like Neeb does have a pretty sick concave. Is going to clean up. Oh, actually, there's quite a few roaches here from Stephano. Looks like he is going to hold on for now. His Thor's going to go down, but the Hellion's going to run on into the 3rd, try and get some more drone kills. Finally, there are some spine crawlers up. It looks like more and more drones are going down, up to 73 workers killed with more. And this medivac swinging in right on time. So, drop play has been pretty awesome from Neeb. I really thought that, ooh, what? GG from Stephano. Actually going for the single G. I guess he just had, you know, not enough workers there. He was down by 30 workers to Neeb, so his economy was pretty screwed. Neeb had a supply lead. He didn't really do much damage with that drop. Neeb was up to 4 bases, so decided to leave the game. But a pretty surprising game. I was actually thinking Stephano would absolutely rape Neeb in this game before I just saw what happened. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. If you did, please subscribe. and I will see you guys later.